Motionless and White have finally released their second full-length album, and it's definitely something to talk about. I've been waiting for this album all year. It's probably my most anticipated CD of 2012, and I definitely had a lot of high hopes going into this album. The album starts off excellently. I mean, it starts off with two fast-paced and heavy songs. The first song being Black Damask, and I'm sure, many fan favorites right now, and Devil's Night. I mean, like, these songs right now kind of make me feel like Creatures, continued. Their sound and the way they delivered that album, continuing on with this album, so it's pretty cool. Although I will say for Devil's Night, I'm sure a lot of other people have noticed it as well, that there's a huge Slipknot influence behind it. Like, people say it sounds a lot like Psychosocial, and I really do hear it, but I mean, it's definitely not the same song by any means, and it's still such a kick-ass song, and the music video just dropped for it, so you can actually see that down below. So as the album continues, you get to hear a whole new side of Motionless and White, and a side they haven't really shown before, and I really enjoyed it. And you could hear a lot of new influences and stuff, and a brand new sound that, I mean, you didn't hear off Creatures very much. The guitar work was very different. The way they used the synth was excellent. I really like the new use of synth. And just the way the vocals are, they're more heavy, they're more raspy, and you can feel anger and more emotion for sure. Another track to talk about is actually track 5, that being The Divine Infection. When we're talking about influences on this album, I feel like, I'm sure as a lot of other people do, Marilyn Manson is probably a big influence on the song. I'm not saying it's a copy by any means, it's not. It's it's original by the band, but it's just the way the intro starts off and the vocals, kind of the way Manson would do one of his songs. I mean, it's really awesome, and I love the song a lot. It's just really good. But it's kind of just you can feel the combination of their own sound and their influences just coming together, so it makes a really, really great song. I think what has to be maybe the best song is halfway through the album. I mean, they did a sequel to Puppets 2. Now, I mean, Puppets is probably one of my favorite songs off of Creatures. It was just such a catchy song and just amazing lyrically. And, this song was no different. It felt heavier, it felt way more emotional, and I just really love the song. The chorus was excellent, and, I feel like when a band does a sequel to a song, it's either really good or really bad. But, I mean, most bands do deliver, and Motionless and White did nothing but that. I mean, they hit a home run on this song. It was awesome. On the second part of the album, you continue to hear the different sound of Motionless and White, and something they stepped up their game, and they brought a different sound than what they did on Creatures. Now, again, it's very noticeable when they did a more slower downbeat track in Cinematic. Now, again, it's not an acoustic song by any means. It's just the instrumentals are more downbeat, slower pace, and it's a lot of clean vocals in this song. And with a scattered bit of screaming here and there, it makes for an awesome song, and it's something that, the band hasn't really done before that maybe I just haven't heard. But they did a slower song on Creatures, of course, I know. But this is something new and something that I never heard before, so I mean, it's just really enjoyable. And again, stepping out of their comfort square, making something new and refreshing and just very enjoyable. Now, going on to the next song, another, I guess we'll say, rock song, because it's not just all heavy metal in this, it's like rock kind of feel. When I listen to Synthetic Love, I hear an 80s metal kind of rock instrumental. I don't know if I'm alone on that one, but it's just very different. It's not super heavy, but it is. It's hard to explain, but it's such a catchy song, and I mean, it's different. And I was kind of just like, whoa, I never really saw that coming, like a lot of things on this album. So surprising, but great. Now, another fun one to talk about is the track called Hate Fuck. Now, this song is, again, I feel like it has a slight influence of Manson with I think it's the way the intro is. It's just that slight kind of eerie, trying to do that singing, that clean vocal kind of thing. It's so good, and it's really done well on this album. But again, it's just, I feel like there's an influence there. I'm, again, not saying by any means it's copied. It's just that influence, and it sounds so good, and the band, mixing it together did so well. The album finishes pretty strong. The last two songs are Underdog and Infamous, the title track. Now, again, these are two great alternative-sounding rock songs, I guess, like the metal songs that they put out on the second part of the album. And, I feel like they're two good tracks, but it's not something I put in my top 3 on the album. So getting into my thoughts on this, I had my hopes really high, like as high as the bar goes for hopes. I mean, like it was through the roof. I was really excited for this album, and I guess that's why I can say I wasn't let down, but I guess I was just, you have your hopes so high for something that it just never meets your expectation. Now this album was amazing, I'm not gonna lie, like this is a great CD, but I guess I'm just stuck on Creatures so much. I listen to it so often, and I love the songs from that album and the meaning. But yeah, like Creatures was great, this album's great too, so I mean, I guess you listen to it enough and it'll maybe become my favorite. So like I said, yes, Creatures is great, but Creatures is great. It could become a favorite for me, but again, like, it takes a few listens. This album is impressive, it's a great second full length, and I think it could make maybe top 10 of the year. Instrumentally and vocally, the band stepped up their game. Like, I can't believe how well they stepped up, and it's produced very well. I was very impressed with the way everything was produced on the CD. I'd say overall I maybe had to give the CD a 9 out of 10. It's not a perfect CD, but definitely ranks high. 9 out of 10 is a great mark. It's definitely worth picking up, and lyrically, Motionless is one of my favorite bands. They're not afraid to hold anything back with their lyrics, and this CD really proved it. I mean, the lyrics were amazing, top notch, really, really well done. And, it's definitely a standard CD, and make sure you go pick up your copy of it. Okay, so that's my thoughts on the new Motionless album called Infamous. Now, I want you guys to listen to it and let me know what you think about it down below. Tell me your favorite tracks, what you thought about it, if they stepped up their game, or if you feel let down. I don't know. A lot of people have different opinions about it. What albums you want to see next, what videos you want to see next. I mean, keep it coming. The next 2 reviews I got coming. Actually, I got 4 reviews I'm working on. I'm writing them up right now. It's a little bit of work, but I mean, it'll only take a few days to write up and film. 2 of the next episodes of Searching for Gold, my series I started a while back. I will link my first video down below. I have 2 awesome unsigned bands that I'm reviewing. Great bands, and you will be impressed with them, I promise. I hope, anyways. And, the new Woe Is Me album, that's going to be reviewed for next week, as well as Crown the Empire. Expect those coming out very soon. And remember, guys, it's music for today, music for tomorrow, and music for life. Peace out.